Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, thank you so much for joining me here on Amber's Secret. If you like this video, please leave me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe before you go. So today is a story time. It is my horror story with Spirit Airlines. Some of you may have seen the video about how to pack for Spirit Airlines. It's entitled How to Beat Spirit Airlines, and I'll put it right here so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So that video did really well, and under that video I got some requests to do like a follow-up about it, talk about how my experience was with Spirit Airlines. So that's what this video is going to be about. Hold on to your seats, people, because this is a doozy. I get to the airport. I'm always early for my flights because I'm just like that. I have to be where I need to go early. So just in case anything happens, I'll be well prepared for it and I can handle it and not be stressed out. So I get there early, get through TSA, I'm good, no problems. I get to the gate with like 30 to 45 minutes to spare before boarding time. So I sit down, I'm chilling, I'm listening to my music, whatever. This particular trip, I was going to Boston because I was going to go see my boyfriend who was working in Boston at the time. I'm chilling, right? I'm there. I got all my stuff together, got my little bag packed, ready to get to Boston. Then all of a sudden I see people looking like frantic and mad. So I'm like, okay, this is not a good sign. So I take off my headphone and there's an announcement going on. The announcement says, flight blah, 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 blah. Your gate has now been moved to gate 12. So we were at gate 14. They wanted us to move to gate 12. So I'm like, all right, cool. Minor bump in the road. We can get over this, whatever. Spirit Airlines, they're usually delayed about 30 minutes. So I'm not even going to worry about it. I'm just going to go to this next gate and pray about it, Lord. We go to the next gate and I'm chilling again, and all of a sudden I see this same frantic look on these people's faces. So I'm like, I promise you, if we have to move gates again, I'm about to be furious. Sure enough, we had to move gates yet again, but the clincher is we had to move right back to the gate that we just left 15 minutes ago. Everybody frantically runs back down to that gate because at this time it's like maybe 15 to 20 minutes before boarding time, and no one obviously wants to miss the flight. 30 minutes goes by. We're not boarding for this flight. Another 30 minutes goes by. No announcement about how the flight is further delayed. Another 30 minutes goes by. No word whatsoever. And then, you know, people start getting very upset because, you know, people have places to go and places to be, and they can depend on their flights usually to get them there, right? Not with Spirit. No. No. So what happened was I overhear, well, the flight is delayed because of some weather in Boston. I said, okay, that's kind of reasonable. Let me text Bay and see what the Let me text Bay and see what the weather talking about in Boston, right? So I text Bay, he's like, nah, it's cool here. And this was the exact moment that Spirit had me up. So you mean to tell me there's no inclement weather in Boston that would prevent us from getting on this flight right now? And the weather in Maryland was not substantial. It wasn't anything that would delay a flight. There was no torrential downpours. Obviously, there's no snow. This is in the summertime. So what y'all talking about? So we're told that the flight is delayed until 9 o'clock. So I went to go charge my phone like around the corner because all of the charging ports were taken up by all the people that were over there trying to charge their phone and talk to their family and everybody that's in Boston, right? So I go around the corner. 10 minutes later, I look up, there's a herd of people running from that gate that I was at. A herd of people running. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? So I'm like frantically asking people, what's going on? What's going on? And they said, the flight is canceled. The flight is canceled. And you have the option of either getting your reimbursement for your flight or rebooking with another flight agency, right? Flight gets canceled. That's not even the worst part. So you remember how I told you about the reimbursements or you can rebook? Child, this line was all the way around the corner to do either of those things. There wasn't clear instruction on what to do where. There was like one single line, and they were trying to talk over people. Everyone was confused. People were trying to book train tickets. People were talking about driving. And I'm like, y'all are crazy. I'm not driving nowhere. I'm not getting on nobody's train. But for my own amusement, I looked up the train tickets. All of them were booked. So I'm like, okay, you guys have shortened my trip because my flight was canceled without any type of explanation as to why, besides the weather, but that was debunked. So what are you talking about? You've got this really long line with people who need reimbursements and people who want to rebook their flight. So it took them a good 30 minutes to decipher who wanted to rebook and who wanted to reimburse because their messages were so conflicted. Not to mention, the people who were helping us were so rude. Like, I get it. This is a high stress situation. It's a crisis. You got to handle it the best you can in the most efficient way possible, but you don't have to be rude to people. Spirit. These people have paid for their flight that got canceled on your behalf. So let's not get too snappy with us over here. It's not our fault that the flight got canceled. It looked as if this line did not decrease for hours. Like, I promise you we were standing there for 2 hours. I was on the phone with my boyfriend. We were looking up other flights, like, okay, we can handle it this way, we can handle it that way. We already had hotel reservations. He had already gone to the hotel and everything. And I couldn't get there. Like, I was still in Maryland. I ended up extending my trip because I was losing a day. And you are absolutely right. I did not come back on Spirit Airlines, Blue. Sure didn't. I flew back on JetBlue, which they are amazing. When the girl finally gets around to offering the rebooking flights, the only flights that they have available are for the next evening. And when I say evening, I mean 9 o'clock at night is when I will be leaving for Boston. I ended up taking a flight because I literally had no more options at this point. I made an executive decision to take that 9 o'clock flight that would arrive in Boston at 10:30. They put me up in a hotel. Girl, why did the shuttle almost crash on the way to the hotel? He almost swerved right into another person right in the other lane, just like he didn't see that person. It was crazy. So when I finally got into that hotel room, I was like, look, I'm going to check out early tomorrow. I'm going to take my little pretty brown behind on back to Aberdeen, get myself really ready to go on this trip because I rebooked with Southwest. I went and packed me a bigger bag and I went on with Southwest Airlines and I was just as happy as a butterfly. Eventually, I did get to Boston. I flew with Southwest. I stayed a couple days longer than I originally was going to stay because my first day of my trip got completely slashed. Thank you, Spirit. Awesome. Leave me a comment down below. Ask me any questions that I can answer for you. I've flown with Spirit a few times, so I've got a few tips about them. So anyone flying with Spirit Airlines, watch out there now. But y'all got this. Stay awesome.